Because there's few of the things, because I'm only exclusively on a basis, a lot of the submissions made by the petitioner, my lords. That is respondent number one. Now, we are in the WP 3020 of 17, my lord.
Yes.
May I directly take away, my lord, to the core issue that was put across in para 5.11.
No marks were granted. I still
Very
distinctly
right.
remember.
Now, what has happened in this case, my lords, is the prime contention of respondent number one was that in the scrutiny, that is this, not the selection committee, but the screening committee. The screening committee, according to the guidelines, was meant for, in fact, a screening for the interview, my lords. That is how it was. So instead thereof, she suggested to the court that were whatever the marks that she had obtained, like 29.5, she says, court, is in fact the marks which had to be added up with the selection committee.
We are not saying that.
Yes, I come to that. May I come to that, please? That's the reason.
have
And that's what my lord in the order goes on to say that preliminary assessment made under level 1, level 2 will be catered at by the selection committee. My submission to my lords are, there are two things. One is a screening committee. The composition is by the departmental officials. We have the selection committee in accordance with the statute. They are the nominees of the visitor, etc. The expert body, my lord.
उनका तो सब आया था ना पिछली बार कंडक्ट की कैसे उन्होंने कंडक्ट किया अपने आप को
जी जी तो नहीं इसमें दोनों को मिला दिया है इसने दैट इज व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू
सर, पूछ लेते हैं यस इनका कहना है कि स्क्रीनिंग कमेटी का सिर्फ पर्पस स्क्रीन करने तक था एंड जो सिलेक्शन कमेटी है दैट विल हैव एन इंडिपेंडेंट सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस पढ़िएगा
This was not the, your lordship may kindly see annexure P4.
P4
Yeah, what is the selection process?
पहले हमें सुन ले पहले फिर
एक इतना बिंदु सुन देख समझ लेते नहीं आएगा आपको दोबारा सुनेंगे
हाँ क्योंकि इनका पैरा 11 5.11 देख ले
Only say that they will
पैरा 5.11 देख ले एक बोल क्या रही है
ठीक है
नहीं इनका रिटर्न
इनका कहना
इनका रिटर्न देख लें सर
नहीं क्यों देख ले आप आए कोर्ट में पहले प्लीज आई हैव कम इन रिव्यू
My lord, they have changed their entire stand. If your lordship is
आपके स्टेटस को ये शोभा नहीं देता
मतलब ऐसा है ना स्टेटस की बात नहीं है सर आई एम इन अ रिव्यू बिफोर माय लॉर्ड्स
हाँ तो इतना एजिटेट मत होइए आपको सुनेंगे आपको
एजुकेट नहीं हो रही सर
सुने बगैर कुछ नहीं करेंगे ठीक है हाँ 5.11 चलिए पहले मैडम को सुनने दीजिए आप रुक जाइए लेट हर कंप्लीट फर्स्ट
पैरा 5.11 my lords
हाँ
what the petitioner has to say. The petitioner was shocked and surprised to see final select list P7, whereby the petitioner was deprived of getting appointment on the post of assistant professor. However, the aspirants who were less meritorious than the petitioner were appointed on the post of assistant professor in the Department of the Business Management. That the petitioner hereby marks and exhibits all the application forms annexure P8 submitted by so-and-so, and to show that the said aspirants were less meritorious than the petitioner and were given less marks. Now, this is important, my lords. Given less marks in the academic performance score sheet 1+2 of selection process. Please, selection process, she says, than the petitioner. However, the reasons best known to the authorities only on a basis of the interview process. The said candidates were appointed, thereby depriving the petitioner from the legitimate claim of being appointed as a regular employee of assistant professor in the Department of Management. At this juncture, it would be important to state here that the petitioner has secured, this is important, has secured the highest marks and was kept in the merit list in the first two level 1+2 of assessment, which constitutes, now important, 80% of the overall selection process. Even assuming the same but not admitting, if the petitioner was granted no marks in the interview performance 3, then the petitioner could have been appointed for the post in question, as the petitioner has scored the requisite benchmark in the first two level scoring criteria in the selection process, my lord. This is number one. Number two, my lords, let's have a look, my lord, at the rejoinder RJ2. RJ2, my lords. I'm only their documents, my lords. We come to RJ2, which is at page 1616, sir.
RJ2.
Right? Now, these are what? Am I there with my lords, please? Suggest
REJ2.
RJ rejoinder के साथ है. REJ है, right?
REJ2.
Yes. Now, what is at page 1616, my lords?
Yes.
Is a summary. Suggestive. There's a suggestive guidelines to shortlist applicants. or for interview for the position of assistant professor in the university.
Yes.
All right, my lords? I wouldn't be reading the whole of the particular introduction, but the last line of that introduction, the final marks obtained, am I there with my lords? In that
Yes,
particular
yes,
para
yes,
1,
Yes, yes.
by the candidates will be used to rank them for shortlisting,
Okay.
right? Now,
Yes.
the next, my lord, she has in fact given the complete chart, which she has given in the writ petition she has given, the summary. She gives the summary, my lords,
जी.
which is at page
Just a minute. ऊपर से headline पढ़िएगा.
summary.
Suggestive guidelines to shortlist applicants for interview for positions of.
Right.
So now first stage is that you will follow these guidelines,
Ji.
and thereafter, following these guidelines,
Ji.
all those who are shortlisted will be subjected to interview, and as per the marks of the interview, you will prepare a merit list.
No, that we come to that later. But what her contention was, my lords,
Ji.
that this is insofar as shortlisting में जिसको mark मिला 29.5, she says she scored the highest. So what she says is she is the meritorious. This is regarding what? Shortlisting. By whom? By the department, not by a selection committee, but by a screening committee.
But as per the guidelines issued by the competent authority.
For shortlisting. Very
Shortlisting,
right.
yes.
So what I'm saying is a shortlisting is the first stage, that is filtering, my lords.
Right.
From out of 144, 39 candidates.
Yes.
Right, my lords? Now, may I take, my lords, at page 31 of the writ petition. I'm sorry to take this without it because that's how it's been filed. This is summary of shortlisted candidates for assistant professor. She has come, the entire chart she has filed it, my lords. Right, sir? So
You're
very, very clear.
Referring to annexure?
And this is annexure, page 31, annexure is P5,
Right.
sir.
Ji.
Right. So इसमें अपन का page 31 में आ जाए, sir.
जी.
So we see that, my lords, summary of the shortlisted candidates for assistant professor.
Ji.
Total candidates 39.
Ji.
Right, sir? Now, her name, of course, comes at page, she's put everybody, sir. And her name comes, my lord, at page 35.
जी.
Wherein she says that she gets how much? Total marks, API's index is 29.5.
Yes.
Right, sir? This is what she states. Now, before I go to the another component becomes, this is the first component is a screening, shortlisting, right? Shortlisting, the composition of shortlisting by a screening committee is not at par with the selection committee composition as per the statute. I'll come to that later. Now, we have a selection procedure which is at page 28 of the writ petition, 6.0.1.
Annexure?
That would be same annexure.
Huh?
P4.
P4, yes.
Right, sir? 6.0.1.
हाँ पता है.
Right. The overall selection procedure shall incorporate transparent, objective, and credible methodology of analysis of the merits and credentials of the applicants based on the weightages given to the performance of the candidate in different relevant dimensions and in his or her performance on a scoring system pro forma based on the academic performance indicator API as provided these regulations in table 1 to so and so of appendix 3. Now, let's have a look at Appendix 3, which is next page 29.
Before coming to that, please complete it 6.01 in order to make the system more credible.
Right. In order to make the system more credible, universities may assess the ability for teaching and or research aptitude through a seminar or lecture in a classroom situation or a discussion on a capacity to use latest technology in teaching and research at the interview stage. These procedures can be followed both for direct recruitment and caste promotions, wherever selection committees are prescribed in these. What the selection committee is required to do. Right, sir?
Yes.
Now, we come to Appendix 3, which is next page, my lords. Right, my lords? The chart which indicates first is, the first says about the minimum API scores.
Yes.
Right, my lords?
Yes.
The first is the assistant professor / equivalent cadres.
Yes.
We do not have any API for them, sir. When we come to the associate professor or equivalent cadre stage 4, you have a consolidated API score requirement of so and so. When we come to the professor, you have other, right, sir? Now, this is important. Next column goes for selection committee, right? Now, selection committee criteria, weightage, total weightage is 100. So the entire weightage is not with any committee other than the selection committee. This I want to clarify. either 20, 30, 40, whatever you must have got under the screening committee
Ji.
does not become a part and a parcel of the selection committee at all. Now, what she tried to bring into this court is 29 form and the highest, meritorious, and even if the interviews are discarded or not given, yet I am on the top.
Just
My
a
submission
minute,
is,
just a minute. When you say that selection committee criteria is different from the screening criteria, then the first two heads, A and B, are academic record and research performance, for which there is a weightage of 50%.
right,
And then there is assessment of domain knowledge and teaching skills 30%.
right,
Now, the selection interview performance is only 20%.
right.
Now, the first two things have been included by the screening committee and they have given a scorecard to different persons.
My submission to my lords would be, my lords, that may not, this is the job of the selection committee. My submission is. Now I leave it to my.
Please show me. I will
No, it
agree
is
with
there.
you.
Let's-
I've understood.
Right.
Please show me that selection committee had given marks for the academic record and research performance. No, please. You are bound to show that.
Affidavit. No, we give an affidavit, sir.
No, affidavit is not sufficient.
No.
We had
My lords
discussed,
had told us.
this court had discussed the complete proceedings of the selection committee and given the names of the persons so that they may not be called for the selection in next time, because they had messed up with the whole issue, saying that now show me that they had followed these three criteria to award marks to different candidates and then a merit list was prepared.
My submission is that my answer to that would be, my lord did put a query and a direction to that effect, to which we answer to an IA 3537, an IA which was of the registrar, an affidavit
35?
on 3537, sir.
3527 to hai,
3537 was an application for taking the affidavit of officer in charge of the registrar.
3537
3537
के साथ ही फाइल हुआ था ना?
जी WP में था 11th मार्च को फाइल हुआ है 24 में.
At serial number 20 manus of the index.
20. Okay. Yes. क्या डॉक्यूमेंट है ये रिकॉर्ड?
ये एक एफिडेविट आपने फाइल किया था. There was a direction of.
क्या एफिडेविट?
Can I, my lords? Yes. Can I straight away come, whatever that is on record, my lords? We come at page 4, my lords. I'm sorry. We come at para 3, my lords.
Yes.
At page 1 of the affidavit, please. The deponent submits that the petitioner applied.
Para 3 says in view of aforesaid.
The deponent that the petitioner applied for the post.
No. Para
Satya
3.
Prakash.
This is an affidavit filed by.
There was an application
for taking affidavit of
we
in
come
charge
to the
registrar.
affidavit, please. We come to the affidavit, please. Page
Para
3.
3, yes.
The
Deponent
deponent submits that the petitioner applied for the post of assistant professor under the OBC category in the Department of the Business Management of the University against the advertisement 30/10/2010. As per then governing provisions, that is University Grants Commission, minimum so-and-so, regulations 2010 were in force. As per Appendix 3, Table 2C of the UGC regulations 2010, the selection committee criteria weightage, total weightage was 100 for the assistant professor is as follows, which I just read, my lords.
Yes.
A, academic 50, assessment domain 30, interview performance 20. Copy of the appendix, which I just read, my lord, is a document which is A. Right, my lords? Now, in view of the aforesaid, it is to be seen that the claim of the petitioner is solely based on the marks awarded by the screening committee. The screening committee has awarded marks as per the guidelines issued by the university only for shortlisting the candidates. It has nothing to do with the merit for selection. Then there were 39, thereafter scrutiny of application form 39 candidates shortlisted by the screening committee for appearing in the interview by a duly constituted committee comprising of the dean of the school and 3 senior professors of the university. Total 39 candidates, including petitioner, were called for the interview on 3/4/13 at so-and-so. The deponent humbly submits that the selection committee, consisting of then Vice Chancellor as chairman, 3 subject experts, visitor nominee and other nominee on a basis of the academic record, experience.
Where is that chart?
Of the candidates.
I have understood. Where is that chart prepared by your?
That was not that we have said so in our affidavit, my lords. We come straight away at page 5, my lords.
So can a committee prepare make a recommendation without following those 3 steps?
We did say that, my lord. We did say, my lord, at page 5.
Merely saying that is not sufficient. That means that the committee which was constituted
Right.
jumbled up with everything. They did not follow the
Let's-
procedure and they did not award marks on those three parameters as have been read over by you.
Right. Well, we are in a review before my lords, my lords.
Therefore, the scope of review is very limited.
That's what I'm coming to where the error lies in the parent. That's how this is how I've come before my lords.
जी.
So this document only to indicate that now, this being the position, my lord, and insofar as my lord, along with this application, would my lord have a perusal with the review petition, my lords? Would my lord have a perusal of certain documents which are very much there, but then making it further? It just on certain things before I come to the order, that 3 paras which needs to be only read, my lords, where the error apparent comes in. My lord, A2 at page 33, along with my review petition, please.
A2, yes.
Yes.
Page 33.
Right, my lord.
Yes.
Is the ordinance 11, my lord, which has been filed.
Ji.
Right, my lords? I come to 3, clause
Ji.
3. The chairman, convener, shall issue to each member of the selection committee a notice not less than 10 days before the meeting, stating the time and venue of the meeting. Meeting of the selection committee shall be fixed after prior consultation with and subject to the convenience of the visitor's nominee and of the experts nominee
How
by
we are
the
concerned
executive.
with this?
Beg your pardon?
How we are concerned with this?
I'll come to that, my lord. I'll come to that. Next, there are 2 different compositions. This is what I'm trying to bring it out. We come to 8, my lord, at the same page.
जी.
The university will have the right to restrict the number of candidates to be called for interview based on the recommendations of the screening committee constituted as per the regulation for this purpose to a reasonable number on the basis of the qualifications and experience higher than the minimum prescribed or for any other condition that it may deem fit.
जी.
We come next page at 18 clause. Number of the posts advertised may be treated as tentative. The university shall have to increase or decrease the number. Now, we come to next document, which is the second schedule, the statute of the university. We come at page 37
37 of election.
of the statute itself. Well, second schedule,
Connection.
A3,
Yes.
which is at page 36.
Yes.
I come to 37. I come to stat 18,
Yes.
selection committees.
जी.
There shall be a selection committee for making the recommendation to the executive council for appointment to the post of so-and-so, assistant professors and others. Number 2 at page 38, clause 2. The selection committee for appointment to the post specified in column 1 of the table below shall consist of the vice chancellor, a nominee of the visitor, and the person specified. So that is assistant professor at item number 2. This is what I was wanting to show. Now, when we come to my lord's order,
It has only continued, my lord, the appointment of those persons, my lord, whose appointment was set aside.
Huh.
Now, despite that, university is not doing it. The only intention of the university,
You file contempt, you have a remedy to file contempt. Should I suggest?
no, suggestion is not
Bas,
required, my lord,
theek
but
hai.
normally the
You file it.
court doesn't proceed, my lord, in case review is filed or WA is filed.
But there is no stay in the review petition.
But this point has already been considered by your lordship. Elaborately, my lord, the matter was argued at length.
Okay,
It was
if
argued
they
for
want to gain some time, ठीक है, देखते ना, 10 दिन बाद देख लेंगे इसको.
some date maybe.
हाँ, चलिए, डेट ले लीजिए 30 मई 2024,
oblige, my lord.
top of the list.
Oblige, my lord.
Documents, relevant regulations be filed. Complete set of the relevant regulations be filed, including that of constitution of selection committee, etc. by 27th.
Screening committee, my lords.
Screening committee as well as selection committee by 27th May with an advance copy to the opposite party council. चलिए.
So complete regulations.
Complete regulations. सिर्फ में रिट पिटीशन का रिकॉर्ड भी आ जाएगा सो दैट
तो
इनकन्वीनियंस
है ना, सब है ना यहाँ पर, इसमें
कोई
सब
दिक्कत नहीं होगा.
Uploaded
फिजिकल के
file.
लिए कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं होगा सर.
तो सब चीज कंप्यूटर से हो रही है.
वो तो फैक्ट. I'm just, I mean, so there's no inconvenience to my lords.
अब तो एब्यूज भी जो है वर्चुअल हो गया है, फिजिकल खत्म हो गया है.
A time would come, अपने ऑफिस से we will be arguing
जी,
the
जी.
matter soon. Greatly obliged, my lord.